Scott. Man, where to begin? I went to film school. I nearly failed out of every program I've ever been in. I was academically probably the least gifted of any of my friends. And yet, after school, after nearly going bankrupt with my first business, which I'll tell that fun story later, I was able to then go ahead and build several multi-million-dollar businesses from the ground up with no outside funding, no venture capital, no family help. In fact, no one in my family's ever been an entrepreneur, even heard the word entrepreneur before I decided to take it on back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, so actually we came up with a list of 10 questions, and then so you can elaborate and maybe just give some insight to them. And after I do ask these 10 questions, they will still be puzzled, so they will eventually, just ask any questions.
You're all puzzled. Questioning, I like it. All right, cool.
So the first one is, what actually made you decide to start your own company?
That I had no formal training. I had no idea what I was doing other than just kind of consistently getting myself in these situations. And so I basically, in junior year, built a business while attending school from zero to a little under $1 million in revenue. And then in my senior year, basically lost it all through dumb mistakes, by paying for my own office space, by taking clients out to $2,000 dinners, all these things that I thought, you do, right? You gotta keep up with the Joneses, you gotta make these decisions, you have to look big, act big, all this kind of nonsense. So I had $700 left in my name upon graduation. And my real job mother said to me, a 30-year stalwart in the Board of Education in New York City, okay, now that you've done that thing and gotten it out of your system, time to get a real job. Some of you were like, yeah, I'm gonna be an entrepreneur. Some of you were like, yeah, I'm maybe gonna be an entrepreneur. And some of you were like, my friend took me to this thing and he's to my right and I have no idea what I'm doing here. And what I would tell you is that, the real world and the school world are very, very different and individually unique experiences.
Well, going back to your production, what made you producing all these videos unique? What set you apart from everyone else? Was it your mindset? Was it the actual quality of your work?
You guys have Mac or PC in school? I don't know. Macs, okay. You have iMovie? Yeah, congratulations. 7 years ago, you could have beat me to market. You could have made more money than me. Like, what I did was not the secret sauce. I mean, taking somebody's video clips and editing them together, there's no magic there. I think the magic is when you shake someone's hand and they trust you. The magic is when something goes wrong, they know you're going to handle it. The magic is walking into whether it's somebody like you or a CEO of a major Fortune 5 and not treating them any differently and just looking them in the eye and saying, we've got this. But again, it's marketing. Everybody always says Steve Jobs, the innovator, and he's a genius man, but really what he was genius at is marketing. He was great at branding and positioning. If you asked him to put two wires together, probably, to the extent of a Woz or somebody else wouldn't have had that kind of, genius. So I think that, at the end of the day, what I learned most is you don't have to be first, you don't have to be the best, but you do have to be consistent, you have to give it your all, you have to be incredibly good at what you do, and you have to find a way to sell it in a way that makes sense for you. I think where it gets misinterpreted, and I think in the terms of this room, is you guys think of it as risky, or you guys would think of it as not the path that you are supposed to be on. It feels abnormal. It feels like almost like the cool thing that, let the cool kids go and try something, but I'm gonna do something, right? I'm gonna go get the salary. I'm gonna have a certain lifestyle. Like, you're not all gonna be entrepreneurs. I said, you might work for an entrepreneur, you might be employee one, you might have a co-founder, you might not be the sole founder. So there's a lot of different ways to still be entrepreneurially minded. Not trying is an excuse if you have interest in this. Everybody gets so caught up on what's my idea, what's the game plan. My first idea was when I was, 12, selling lollipops in school to kids. Putting yourself out there and trying versus theorizing versus talking about it versus business planning. My first business plan was 97 pages. Ask me how many investors ever read it. So, I feel like at the end of the day, you have a unique opportunity to know now if this is truly interesting because you don't have all that stuff that comes with 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I mean, I'm not saying other things in life aren't important, but if I was going to ask you a question without entrepreneurship in the phrasing, and I just said, how important is your financial security for the rest of your life? I would argue most of you would say probably pretty high on the totem pole. When you're asked to exercise the things that could potentially help you in furthering that goal, it's probably pretty low. because you're thinking, well, I have a test, or I have these smaller, short-term things. The real world's not gonna have a test, it's called bankruptcy. I'm just saying, I mean, there's no other way to say it, guys. Like, you know, the idea of being hired is you're sending resumes with the hope that someone's gonna read it and love you on a piece of paper. This is how I look at the world in general. Anything you look at in the world around you has been created by someone no smarter than you. This chair didn't just end up here. This projector didn't just end up here. And so when you look at everything, think of it as a version number. Like, is that really the best projector? I've seen stuff in like Minority Report that's cooler than that, right? I mean, so the point is that everything you see, it's first somebody built it. Second, someone's already trying to make it better. And third is what version of it. And if you can get yourself, it's a psychological trick, but if you can start thinking your way through, like, wow, if that was version 2, man, what does version 10 look like? And then you start reverse engineering in your head, like, what does the future really look like? That's what's stopping you.